sounds.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spelunkers, game exploration podcast. I am Tom, joined again by Chris.
Hello.
Tyler.
Hello.
And Ryan.
We get to pet an eagle!
We do get to pet an eagle.
Multiple times.
Several times, yes.
Yeah.
And,
Depends on how good you are at the game.
Maybe you just want to pet the eagle, so you just
you can just pet him if you want
forcefully
to.
bad.
Fuck that eagle, man.
Wow. Damn.
And we're talking about the Pathless. This will be our first episode. We will be doing the first two bosses, which the names I have somewhere, but I don't currently.
Cerno and Sorrow.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad that C is an S because that's how I was saying it too. So
I assume.
very happy.
I mean, we all assume that, right?
Yeah, that's the direction I went.
It's Kurnos, actually.
And it's the S is a Z, so Zaros.
Oh, perfect. Zorro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Zorro, yeah.
Zorro.
Legend of Zorro.
Oh, this game got 10 times better. Let's go.
Yeah.
And
that monster looked like Antonio Banderas. So sounds about
it's
right.
Puss in Boots. Right? So Chris, Tyler, and I are all playing on PS5s. Ryan has decided to play on an iPhone.
Yes. Let me get the exact iPhone model for you. Just to
You
for
should
the
have had
best
this ready.
information. I should have, but you want me to be prepared?
This could have just turned into like a
Oh,
stream.
by the way, Ryan, you're hosting.
Right. Yes. iPhone 8 software version 14.2.
And how is that?
Mostly good. My phone wants to melt. I'm not gonna lie. If after a 30 minute to 1 hour play session, because I'm breaking this up into little chunks playing on mobile, it like touching the back of my phone is close to like that does not feel good to touch. Like, it is very warm.
It's not good.
I take it out of the case actually to try and let it breathe a little bit more. But the only time in the very beginning tutorial area, I had a few frame dips. But the rest of the game, the only time I've ever had frame loss is when I get like a notification incoming. If I get like a text message that comes in at the same time. So I would say for the best experience, turn on airplane mode or turn notifications off so that those aren't interrupting what the phone has to render. But beyond that, I'm playing with a DualShock 4 with a little phone mount, and it could be a lot worse.
Have you tried it? Just the touch controls?
I wish I didn't.
Or I thought it would be actually not that bad considering you're just running, sliding.
I just
jumping.
hate touch controls.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't limit myself to the range of the joystick on touch control, so I wind up just sliding off the screen every time and having to restart my thumb position.
Oh, okay.
And especially in like that's fine for world traversal and the puzzles, but during boss fights that is
So
not
it is
an
a
option.
virtual joystick?
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. Well, the screen's a joystick. It'll follow your thumb up, but my thumb will just continue to slide till I'm off the screen, and I've got to, or I'm all the way to the top of the screen, and then I pull back, which just changes your direction. Or you've got to let go, move your thumb back, and then retouch. But then you're standing still for multiple seconds during a boss fight, or a second maybe. You know, it's just the touch controls aren't good. If you're planning on playing this mobile, I highly recommend a controller.
Or a console.
Yeah, our console.
And don't play on mobile.
I opened that with if you're playing this on mobile.
And if you are playing on mobile, please leave a comment because we would like to know if you.
And then go play it on the console.
If you're playing on
But
the
if you have
console,
Apple Arcade,
also
it's
leave
free,
a fucking
right?
comment. Just saying.
Yeah, it's included.
No, only if you're playing on mobile. That's the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is on Apple Arcade right now, and I think it's compatible with all iPhone 7 and up.
Okay.
I think is what the Apple
it's
Arcade.
doable. I mean, that what was that Genshin Impact is on mobile and everything too. So it's the wave of the future. Maybe I don't know.
Next Spelunkers game is a totally mobile only game.
Bloons Tower Defense 6.
I like the red balloons. They're hard to pop. I don't know.
We can go back and play the Telltale games, right? Those are on mobile.
Are they?
Well, I had the Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, Wolf Among Us.
I had that on my iPad.
The only one of those I played was Tales from the Borderlands. Surprise, surprise.
Play Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead. Had that great reveal trailer. You guys remember that?
Yeah. I actually enjoy those Bridge Constructor capes.
We've been talking about that on Giant Bomb lately. I guess it's not too bad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Bridge Constructor's pretty good.
We wanted our idea of what was an infamous Bridge Constructor.
Yeah. They didn't make
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That would be infamous Bridge Destructor.
Yeah. If you got the concrete, then you can make one.
You know what's funny? It's like we're only like 6 months into recording, and that feels like a deep cut. That's how long 2020's been.
We're going way back. Let's just talk about Ghost of Tsushima right away, too.
We're on the Pathless.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get us back on path.
Could say so much to say about the Pathless that we immediately start talking about other games.
This is incredibly meta, guys. We don't have a path through this fucking podcast. We're pathless as hell.
So the majority of the story I think that we have found so far starts off like this. A dark curse shrouds the world. Legends say the curse spreads from the ancient isle on the edge of the world, where the realm of man and the realm of spirits intersect. Many have gone to the isle to stop the curse. None have returned. The darkness grows stronger. The last hunter makes the journey to reclaim the light that has been stolen from the world. And I really like this opening scene here where you're just flying in on this boat. It's a very good introduction to this art style. I really enjoy this art style and how they designed the whole world. And immediately upon landing, you can just look up at all these huge cliffs, waterfall just towering above you. And I gotta say, your character has one hell of a vertical leap.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that's some easy way to just jumped right away. I'm like, wow, you can jump pretty high.
Maybe gravity's just really low.
That could be, because there is a floating island.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
So yeah, that's what you see, right in the middle. You see this giant floating island, or the bottom of a floating island. It's all cursed and red and fiery. And I'm pretty sure that's the end point, right? That's where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
That I would imagine.
Yep.
Nice. As you move forward, you see what will be your main method of traversal is you find those little diamonds with it's like the mask symbol in the middle, right?
The talismans?
Yes. You just shoot them babies, and man, you just take off.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that first time that you get to do that, because when you first get off the boat, it's kind of pulled back, and you have this really large scope of the world around you. Everything kind of seems gigantic and huge. And then the second that you start dashing, it kind of closes in on the back of the main character. Mm-hmm. I really like that zoom in. It's really cool animation.
Yeah, they don't make it last too long, but they intentionally make you walk for a little bit, and it's like, God, this is insufferably slow until you find a talisman pretty quickly.
Well, and then even when you're in spots later, there was a few spots where I couldn't hit any talismans, and I've used all of my sprint, and it's like, God damn it. You're trying to climb something. Why am I so slow? This is awful. I hate it. Yeah. No. I think traversal is probably one of the most fun things about this game so far. Just running around, jumping, shooting those talismans, zipping through the air.
Well, it's one of the main game flavors we're dealing with.
It's the old game.
No, there's more, right? There's boss fights.
There are boss fights.
And there's puzzles. But certainly traversal is something that this game is playing with a lot, and it does it in a fun way.
Yeah. I don't know, the traversal is the biggest thing. It kind of reminds me of Spider-Man, where the most fun you can have in Spider-Man or Miles Morales, in my opinion, is just swinging around the city, and the most fun you can have in the Pathless is just running around and hitting these triggers, because it doesn't it's really weird the way it doesn't even require you to aim. It's just you're just holding the trigger until you let go and hit it. As long as you have that line of sight, that's the only thing you're trying to keep track of, is whether or not you have line of sight on whatever you're aiming at.
And no ammo.
Nothing is worse than when you think you have a line of sight though, and you shoot an arrow and it just thunk right in the freaking tree.
That's such a great sound effect too, as it just thuds into the side of that tree.
Yeah, and then you run out of stamina, and you're like, "Fuck! I guess I'm
Yeah.
gonna walk for a second."
But speaking of Miles Morales, I believe on Twitter, I think Beaten Down Brian said the same thing. I think we were talking about playing the Pathless, and he said he just finished it after he did Miles Morales, and like he loved the traversal as well. I know he didn't write in, but I remember him saying that, so I'm going to bring it up.
Right in, you coward.
So he kind of wrote in. It was on Twitter. So, but yeah, as you go forward, you see this giant eagle that is kind of glowing like this weird cosmic-y purple with the red and black fire curse. It's like, oh, what the hell's going on here? It's a giant bird dying. And you basically just like, or she, I think it's the mother of eagles, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle mother?
Yep.
Something like that. And it basically just turns and like squawks in a direction. It's like, okay, guess I'll go that way. So you see like these giant, I don't know, statues, monoliths, so to speak. And at this point, they have the eagle heads on them. And they have whatever area you're in, they have the tall ones, which is what they are referred to. The other gods.
Yeah, they're basically like gods of the area, gods of the land.
They refer to them as like the tall ones.
Yeah, they're the tall ones. Yep.
But you got to go to these monoliths or statues and basically cleanse them of this curse. The eagle gives you, I don't know what you want to call it, like tokens, pendants, icons,
the
little gold bird heads.
Yeah.
And you need to use these at these statues to basically cleanse them. And your character will do like this weird little praying clap motion.
A lot of praying in video games this
to
year.
expel. So the first one, I'm pretty sure you just have to go up to it because you get that token right away. Then to get to the next one, on the way is actually you get the mask. I forgot about this. So you go in and you find the hunter. I assume came before you, just dead. And I mean, I don't know how long this hunter's been here because it's just bones. Like, did something like eat it, or has it been just that long? But you get this really cool visor mask that you get to pull down, and when you pull down, you can see things that you can't see in the normal world. Just like a different vision mode type. You can
like the lens of truth from Ocarina of Time.
It's the spirit visor, right? The spirit. You're seeing into the spirit world.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what the game, like in game, right? Because at the beginning, this is like where the real world and the spirit world meet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're seeing into the spirit world.
But it acts just like the lens of truth from Ocarina of Time.
Also, speaking of Zelda, don't these eyes on these creatures look a lot like Zelda? Like the God Slayer one, the mask. I feel like that's like Zelda.
Haven't played a lot of Zeldas.
Sure.
I don't know. Everything kind of apes off Zelda at some point.
I guess.
As you grab this mask, you get this little. There's one of the first things you can read is like a tablet on the wall, and it says that this allows you to see things normal people can't. The spirit grants the wearer the ability to see the cracks in the world, to find paths where there would be none, but heed caution. Those who wear the mask never see the world the same way again. So, I guess you're just jacked up now. It's like a drug. I need the mask. Now I can see all those glowy bits flying in the air and things like that. Basically, the mask is just like LSD, right? And you just start tripping out.
Yep.
There we go. We got it.
That's what this game's about.
Well, it's ironic that it says that because I literally feel like I'm in that mode so much while I'm flying around trying to figure out where the hell I need to go. So
I'm not, because I don't like that it slows me down.
I don't think it does when you're flying.
Yeah, not when you're on the bird.
No, I don't use it when I'm on the bird.
No.
Oh.
Yep. That's
I enjoy the
thing
non-blue world.
I guess skipping ahead, we get a bird.
Wow. Sorry to spoil
spoilers.
that. Definitely is not a main mechanic of the game that's been shown in every pre-release thing.
It's a bird.
It's a bird. Anyway, once you leave this little like temple area and look at the few things, you come across. I guess I don't know how to describe these. I was calling them souls, basically, of the dead people. And you can like look at their soul and like or their spirit, I guess.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
And you get like I don't know, like a last quote. Is that what we want to call it? Like,
Something like that.
yeah.
You're getting some lore, baby.
Getting some
That
little
sweet
lore
lore.
nuggets. So the first body that you find, it just says the battle between Eagle Mother and Godslayer was the worst thing my eyes have ever witnessed. If she has fallen, the worst has happened. Now who will stand against the Godslayer? We have not beaten the Godslayer yet. We will shortly. I believe after you get all of these, it's 3, right? 3 for every boss so far. I'm pretty sure is what it's been. You dispel the curse on the 3 totems, statues, monoliths,
Towers.
the things with the heads on them.
Eyes of
Well,
Sauron.
some of them have heads. Yeah, the eyes of Sauron.
Mhm.
Once you get the ring back to Mount Doom or whatever, you know, just throw it in. Get her all
I
on
want
there.
it.
But so basically, yeah, you're running around. It's a good time in this area. There's not really too much like blocking you, so just it's a good time to get your sprinting legs on. So I'd probably say for a good 15 minutes or so, I was just running around shooting those tokens, talismans, flying through the air, getting a feel for it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's really good. Did you guys find any like extra stuff in this little area? Like, there's one statue that I found that gave me a little bit of that, like those little crystal things, those yellow crystal things, and that was literally it. I don't know how much you guys found in that area.
I didn't
look
find
around
that.
too much.
Nope.
Yeah.
I might have, but I didn't write that one down.
One of the puzzles you do have to do, I did write down that for like the last token for that totem is you have to put your mask on to have it open up the actual eye that you have to shoot with your bow. But anyway, after you're doing that, the light consumes these statues and they all shoot at the eagle. Kind of twitches a little. So then you walk over to it. This giant eagle, and you can cleanse its aura, and it turns this like pretty blue. Also, it has a hole in it, which is apparently a common thing through the tall ones. For some reason, they have a giant hole in their middle areas.
It's the weight loss plan.
Yeah.
It's the tall one's weight loss plan.
If
A
you're
piece
trying
of
to
them
lose
is
weight,
missing.
just
They're
cut a
missing
big
a
hole.
piece.
They're heartless.
Give me that 6-inch hole saw.
It's a Kingdom Hearts reference.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, as you restore it, it kind of flutters around a little bit, then it flies back into, I guess it's like a temple, right? So you run to find it in the temple, and it's got like this huge nest, and you're all happy. You're like, oh, I got the big eagle, and then boom, here comes the Godslayer. Yay, Godslayer! This guy's I like his design. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looking.
Yeah, he seems very menacing. And
got-
even his voice, too, when he starts speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty. He's got that long tail with like the freaking weird
Mm-hmm.
guillotine end on it. It's got this giant sword. He's got 3 eyeball masks, or those visors going in different ways.
Yep.
Yeah, he's pretty nifty.
Yeah, he's
And,
one of those guys you cannot possibly mistake for anything other than super
A bad
evil.
guy.
How was this guy ever allowed to live past like age 10 if he looked like that? Like, fuck.
That was on the design doc when they were designing the character. Super evil.
Make this guy all black and red. Then we'll know that he's evil. And then, everybody will know. As he's coming down, or I guess as the Godslayer is coming down with his longsword, assuming in this is you don't see your mouth move, but I'm assuming it's you who says it. Was it you who unleashed the darkness on the world? I came to undo your evil. The Godslayer responds, ha! As you aim your bow at them, they raise their sword, and they start to burn the eagle, and kind of squalls, and you loose your arrow, and you just like, boop! I blocked it, bitch. And it's like basically just teleports and bitch slaps you halfway across the area, and then just burns the living crap out of this eagle again. So you're pretty good right now because obviously you can take the final boss right away. We've never seen that before, right? You gotta fight the final boss immediately.
That's completely new. That has never
Yeah,
been
never
done
been done
before.
in game.
Just brand new, but still very cool. So after this little menacing thing, he starts to like fly away. Like he hasn't wings or anything, so he just flies. So because he's cool, he's a bad guy. He's got to have all the cool.
He's
powers.
like Super Saiyan. He just
Yeah, this
fly.
game is very
without
anime.
the yellow hair.
It's super
Yeah.
anime.
The eagle says, "You must defeat the God Sailor. You must Slayer. You must bring back the light."
The God Sailor.
The God Sailor.
God Sailor.
I mean,
That's
there's a
right.
God
boat,
Sailor
so
Moon.
maybe he stole your boat. Maybe he is the God Sailor.
Killing
He was a
Edward
little
Kenway.
captain's hat.
The eagle mother is like, you cannot go there yet. You cannot defeat him first. You must free his little friends, I guess. I don't know what he calls them, or she calls them. But so you have 4 on this giant totem that it shows that you have to free from the curse, which is, makes sense. Then you get to go to the floating isle. But first, the big eagle turns into a little baby little eagle.
Eagle.
Then you get to walk up to it, and as soon as you get to it, it says, "Pet the eagle."
Yes.
And I like this mechanic. I like how you can just it just washes away. Like you got to just sit there and get rid of all the dark curse.
Ryan, did you use the touch controls to pet the eagle?
I have done that. That's the only time the touch controls are any good.
That was the first thing I thought when I did that. I was like, I bet this is really satisfying to touch it.
Mm-hmm. To
Was
the point
your-
where the first time I just sat there petting the eagle for about 2 minutes, just like, who's a good birdie?
So, but did you guys try to use the touchpad to pet the eagle?
No, is that
No.
a thing?
No, it's
Oh,
not a thing. I
should've
tried. My first instinct was like, "Oh, I'll touch it. I'll use the touchpad." It didn't do anything. And I was like,
Did you
That's
try
crap.
just like rubbing your controller on the screen? Your TV?
I tried to pet the
I got
screen
a lot
and
of
it wouldn't do
scratches, but
anything.
it didn't really work out for me.
"How does it feel?"
I love the fact that you're like, did you use the touchpad? And then Chris and I's first instinct is like, fuck no way would we ever use that for anything.
That's the map button.
Because it's there.
Yeah, you mean the map button?
Ghost of Tsushima, everybody.
I'm gonna blow my flute. Play my flute. That's all I'm gonna
Blow your flute.
do. Blow my flute. Anyway, back to the Pathless. Not talking about Ghost of Tsushima. You have to free the gods of this, or they were once gods of the earth. Now they are the cursed beasts in the thrall of the God Slayer or God Sailor.
The Glod Slayer.
The God Slayer.
God Slayer. Hash slinging. Hash.
It's a sash bringing.
It's a
Yeah.
SpongeBob reference for you.
Anyway, yes. Now you get to traverse through this, like the temple area, which basically gets you the mechanics of use your eagle to float. You can use your eagle to pick up these like weighted stones to then drop on these buttons.
That eagle can lift a shit ton of weight.
It can.
That eagle lifts.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the whole mechanic of moving the eagle while it's carrying the weights?
I liked it.
sucks.
I,
No, it sucks.
I hated it.
No, hold on.
I
It
liked
sucks.
it.
It's like-
Tyler, hold on. No, it
like-
sucks. Just kidding. Go ahead.
It's like I'm trying. Like I didn't. It's okay, but the first time I'm like, I can't get. Why won't you go over here? Go over here so you can drop the freaking stone.
Oh, I didn't even worry about it. I just walked away towards the area and then he just followed. I was like, oh,
It would be
okay,
so
I
much
get it.
easier if you could just look and target point.
Yeah, that would make it easier if you could target. And I know that you can kind of do that later on when you're moving obstacles with them. But I don't know. It was kind of cool.
I thought you still had to walk with
and
it.
then you just got to lead him to the point and then kind of get him to stay in front of it. I mean, it didn't really bother me any. I guess
it
now in
didn't-
retrospect that I think about it, it does kind of suck.
It didn't bother me at that point. later, but like right away I was like, this would be so much more manageable if I could just go here, not just follow 4 feet behind me.
Yeah, it was weird, and like it actually started bothering me more in later puzzles because like he would get caught on like fences and stuff that I jumped over just fine. There's no reason why you couldn't jump over. I don't know. It was really annoying. And then I would have to like tell him, okay, we'll drop it, and I guess I'll go through all the crap I went through to get behind that gate in the first place, and then you can pick it up again, you idiot.
I'm not petting you anymore.
And then you spit on it like, yeah, bird.
No more worms for you. Or eagles probably don't eat worms.
Fish, probably.
No little rodents for you.
That eagle doesn't eat worms. He's above it. He turns his beak up at those worms.
Yeah, he doesn't eat them because I'm not giving them to her anymore. He doesn't carry things the correct way. So yeah, you have like 2 parts where you got to move this stone, put it on a button, and go up to another place, and it's blocking you, so you can't do it that way. You got to go a different way. Just weird puzzles like that. We won't spoil how to do any of them.
Yeah,
make you figure it out on yourself.
Yeah.
After this puzzle, then you find one of the God Slayer totems, which the eagle is just like scared as shit of from, and just like cowers and won't go near it. And I think in the later ones, it actually gets the curse back from them. But this one, it doesn't happen that way. But basically, all you gotta do is loop around, go up, and I think you use your spirit visor mask, and it pops something open, and you can like hit a button, and it deactivates.
I don't think I've run into any more of those. I completely forgot about that. Did you guys just find them while you were looking for the light stones?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There's a handful.
I think I don't remember being any in this next area, but the where you fight the second boss, I remember there being like a big wall one.
Yep.
That was a pain in the butt.
Yep.
But whatever. As you go up higher, you get to like this wind tunnel basically, and you just like as you're getting closer, the eagle like latches onto your arm and like kind of starts to fly and like pick your arm up, which is the universal symbol for jump in there and hold on to the birdie.
I did have a weird glitch with this, where the first time it shot me up and sent me over to the mainland. The next time I tried to glide, it like immediately threw me into the ground, into the river. I finally and it kept doing it. I could not actually glide to try and do it, like so hard. Like it would have broken every bone in that hunter's body if there were any physics to this game. How hard and fast it threw me down. And I finally jumped and glided off of a higher point. I was able to get up to a spot without the glide. And it shuttled me all the way back to the bottom of the little wind tunnel before I had to do it again. And then the gliding worked properly. There's some weird like phasing or sequencing bug.
Yeah, maybe it's just a iPhone thing.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Or like mobile. I don't know.
I had weird video of that. That would have been so funny to see her just get punted into the dirt.
I was confused as shit, dude. He just gave me this mechanic, and now the game's fucking broken.
Well, that's the end of it for me.
I don't think this is supposed to work that way.
I did have a couple when I think I was trying to climb like a statue, where I think I kind of like got stuck in it and like started like bouncing up and down, and then I think I just kind of floated off to the side, and then I was fine. But I think that was the only weird bug that I encountered as I was like climbing some weird tower. Anyway, after you're flying up, you get the first. Now the game begins. Like you're flying, you're holding on to the eagle. Camera pans like super far back. You just see like all the open spaces, the island again, and you're just like a itty bitty dot floating on your eagle.
This part is super fucking cool looking. I love the way that they did this. It definitely gave me that Breath of the Wild moment. If you guys have played that, where you get off the plateau, and it's just kind of like the world is around you. You kind of just go do whatever. Really liked it a lot.
This game,
doing whatever is just running around shooting diamonds,
shooting talismans,
or doing puzzles, whatever.
Yeah.
But you can do it in whatever order.
Yes.
This is a good time. This is a good time to bring up Breath of the Wild. This game is incredibly similar. I feel like it must be inspired because it's just like, here's a big open area. You can go wherever you want in it, and there's puzzles to solve, and that's like the whole game. That's basically what Breath of the Wild is, except obviously Breath of the Wild is more in depth with the number of things it offers you. And some of my problems with the game also come from problems I have with Breath of the Wild, like not being clear about where the interesting things are. Like you can push triangle to put on the visor to kind of get an idea. You can see the towers for sure, but like it's not going to guide you to every single light stone as far as I could tell. Which
it will.
It will.
Yeah, you gotta wait for it to like as that like aura like
it's like a radius ping, and it'll ping the entire area that you're in, and anything that blinks red is an area of interest that has some kind of item in it. But then it's kind of up to you to investigate that area a little bit more to see if it has a light stone or not. But usually you can tell because it'll have a giant yellow aura that you can usually see from some angle. That's what I found that out probably. I don't know, 4.5 hours in. It was after I beat the first boss. I even discovered that.
You played this for 4.5 hours?
Oh, I probably played this game for like 6 hours, 7 hours so far.
I think I only have like 2.5 hours of video.
I love this game.
That's all I played.
Yeah, but I guess we didn't like get out front saying like what people thought of it, how people are enjoying it.
I love it. I've been exploring every nook and cranny. Been doing I've been searching around looking for every little thing I can. I just really enjoy the world. The music is so fucking good, and I just like it. It's really fun. I like this game.
I mean, I enjoy it, but like I like just running around doing whatever.
It's really relaxing. It's a huge change of pace from like everything else I've been playing. So I think it just hit at the right spot. You know, I just need something that's like really chill. I could play at my own pace.
Well, that's also it. Like after playing for a while, I actually threw on music, and I was just like, you don't like since there's no talking. You don't have like there's no like clear like audible clues that you need to be doing anything. So I just threw on music and I just ran. It's a very chill game that you don't have to throw yourself 100% in. It's just a nice time to sit there, run around, enjoy everything. There's nothing just crazy happening. It'd be a good game
until you get to the boss fights, and then that's when it's like, holy shit.
Maybe I need to do that music or podcast, because so far I am playing this game. It's all right. Like I don't mind all the time I'm playing it. I don't mind going in to play more, but I'm not like itching to go play more.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat where I think it's a lot of fun. When like I love the traversal, adore the traversal. I don't know. It's like I'm already getting to a point, and I've only played for like 3 hours, where everything's kind of feeling samey. They're dealing with a very small number of puzzle mechanics that they're using in some interesting ways, but sometimes it's just like I've already basically done this puzzle before. Like I've lit these torches, I pushed the button to raise the torch up. It's like they're reusing the mechanics in ways that are a little bit different and interesting, but I'm starting to get like bored of them, honestly. I don't know.
What's ironic about it is, like, sitting here saying that I like it and stuff, like I have no desire to really want to finish it. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of game.
Glowing
to me.
review.
No, it's like a good.
But when I'm playing it, I just get so zenned out and focused on the environment and like the little things that you can find, and it's like really easy to do that. Oh, one more thing. Oh, one more thing. Oh, one more thing. And I just find myself in that loop every time I start playing it, and it's just way more relaxing than I thought it was going to be. You know.
Yeah, it's not as intensive as a lot of the other stuff we have done.
And there's no, there's like no death mechanics or nothing like that. You don't get any game overs. You don't really lose any progression.
Yeah, there's no ammo.
Yeah,
no weapon durability.
It's really just exploration.
Just skill and brain power.
Like I said, it's one of those things to like hit at the right time, I think. And I think the puzzles are simplistic enough that, it's like you can solve them in, under 5 minutes. There've been a couple that have been more in depth that I've gotten trophies from completing that are like certain sections.
Trick shot.
That are like their own separate. Yeah, there's like contained little areas that are like one giant puzzle. I think those are really cool. And there's things to find and enjoy in this game for sure.
Yeah, I do
it's
think
a good palate cleanser.
Yeah,
I think it's like recently. I think it's just not like my type of game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, it's just not something I super enjoy. I think I'm like Tom was on our Bug Snacks episode, where it's like this is a fine, fun game, but it's not super for me.
Oh, we're talking about Bug Snacks?
Yeah, we're talking about bug snacks, baby.
Nobody's talking about bug snacks.
Not anymore,
It's like a
Tom.
bug.
We
It's-
had
it's
the
like a
ultimate
snack.
conversation. Nobody needs to talk about it anymore.
Ever again.
It is the end-all, do-all in bug snacks conversations, and we'll leave it at that. Anyway, back to the Pathless as we're moving along. The basically, as you exit out and get closer to this weird curse storm, the Godslayer appears, and what is he says? "Awaken Cernos, let none pass." And then you see this fiery, one-eyed deer lizard creature.
That sounds
bunch
accurate.
of legs, bunch of weird antlers. And this one, as you get to this area, so this is this is the plateau, some sort of a plateau. I think
Yeah,
what the area is called. Forest plateau. Yeah,
Something
Yeah,
like
because
that.
the next one I think is the
There's
red
redwood.
steps.
Yeah,
Redwood Step.
yeah. Okay, something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, same mechanics as what you just did, except this one will have a boss fight. You have these towers that you can see, as we were talking about. You have the tokens that you must get. I believe you need 2 of these tokens to dispel the curse in each of these. I enjoyed the addition of the torch shooting. Like, you shoot the little arrow through, and it kind of just does the little. I enjoyed that little mechanic. You know, they add to it later because, as we were talking about, you get different ways to do it. So there's the mirrors that get introduced later that you need to ricochet. You can have another one where you can have your eagle like move this giant ring. And I liked the first one that I did. I liked because it was timed and I didn't know it. So you pull it all the way to the end, and when you let it go, the circle comes back, and you got to run along and shoot like through 2 targets, then the next set of 2 targets, and the next set of 2 targets. Did you do it on the first time?
Hell no.
Yeah, me either.
No.
The first time I got the first
4 or 5
target,
tries because I just kept missing the targeting as I was like
so that's
trying to
another
side
thing.
scroll because the thing would like move faster than I think she could walk, and so I'm like trying to keep. I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't get the timing right. It took me forever.
Well, that's another thing is that there's no reticle for aiming.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all this like lock
it's like
on.
auto aim, and it's so weird sometimes because you think it's just gonna go like way the hell off, and then you end up hitting your target, and you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Which I
in
actually have
that
an issue with in the next area that I'll go into when we get there.
in that specific spot, like in this one, which I believe is actually in the next area that we're talking about now. Like, you can't tell if you're lined up correctly because even as you start walking, the camera does like that weird skew, like when you're running.
Yep.
And it's like, am I lined up? And then you shoot it, and it just freaking hits the side of that ring or something. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, that camera angle gets wild when you like try to target stuff on the move. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it gets a little wonky here.
It's like it wants to go into like a weird cinematic shot, but then ends up just distorting your field of view, and you just like don't really know what the hell you're looking at anymore.
Yeah. As I explored more, I found this spirit up on like that busted bridge. Like you can go like climb up higher, and kind of like you got to jump across this huge gap, and you can float over, and there's like a little piece. I actually think on the inside of the tower that's there, it's not a dispel tower, but it has a like vortex pushing you up. And when you get to them, the spirit says, "I was merely crossing the bridge when the Godslayer's terrible swath came through. Such power, such virulent evil. He is as sudden as he is inevitable." And it's like, this dude was just trying to cross a bridge and you killed him. But the funny thing is like he's dead like 10 feet into the bridge. And then there's just like a mile of bridge destroyed.
Yeah. I would have waited till he got to the point where it was destroyed, and then he's like, fuck, then killed him.
Of course.
Which could have happened. I mean, there's a lot of people that are like dead in weird like areas here. I remember finding one, and he was out on. He was just like sitting up on a hill, and he just talks about being content. He's like, I'm just gonna sit here. He's like, I came here to find my purpose, but now I'm content, and I'm just gonna sit here, and just apparently die sitting in this chair.
I don't think anyone can live on this island.
No.
Oh, nobody's alive now.
There is a lot of dead people, and especially I don't know if this is the area. It might be the other one, but there's like a village that you can come across, and like basically everybody in it just starved to death.
I don't remember that one. I do remember getting to, I think they call it a prison,
Yep.
where I actually have, I think that's coming up. I actually have it because I have all of the context laid down. So since I'm talking about it, when I make it to this prison, there's like six or seven spirits, I want to say, that are just laying all around. And the first one says, I did not wish to die today, but the Pathfinder can find no paths from inside a prison cell. If this freedom requires my sacrifice, then he shall have it. The next guy says, this fool, this infidel, stands between us and the one true path. I would die and die again for the Pathfinder. The third man says, or character says, they are so desired to rescue this so-called Pathfinder. They may have him. They have bested the warrior, but have paid amply in blood. The fourth one says, I came to this island seeking purpose from the tall ones, but found it from the Pathfinder. I have spilled so much blood today, and yet I do not regret it. And all of these guys have like these standards with like flags next to them. I didn't recognize.
There's like,
recognize
from what I gather, there's 3 different groups. There's like the Pathfinder's, little army that he's gathering, just from the little bit of lore that I picked up throughout the game. And then there's the opposition who's trying to stop the Pathfinder. And then there's a separate group of monks who are there to worship the Tall Ones and, make sure that all the respects are paid to the Tall Ones for the gifts that they've given humanity, basically.
Sure.
And all of these groups kind of converge. And I think that's the story that's like slowly playing out. And if I had to guess, I'm assuming the Pathfinder is who ascends to become the Godslayer.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was one of the other things I was going to ask you guys, if you thought the Pathfinder was the Godslayer. Even if you wouldn't have read all of these, I was just going to read them all, so we all had like somewhat of an understanding. But yeah, the fifth one says, from the outside, this Pathfinder appears utterly unmemorable, barely more than a boy, but he possesses such charisma, even I, in my heart of hearts, can see the allure of following him. And then I find another dead, like, hidden in the corner. He's like, I am not so infirm and old as to be useless. I will follow the one true path. I will follow. Let me follow. But instead, he just died in a corner somewhere. And over in the other corner, he's like, I've never
let him into a corner, man.
Yeah, I have never seen a man who displayed such magnetism, such inherent power. I only wish the Pathfinder deemed me worthy to join his cause. And then I think up on the top, you can find one last guy. After doing the little puzzle, which the puzzle for this area is you have to jump up on top and then up on a wall, and you shoot through this ring that's hanging on the ceiling, and it flutters down into the target, which opens up, I think it's a token at this point. For one of the towers. But high up on the other one, you find another spirit. It's the so-called Pathfinder entered this prison a solitary young man and left a general. I do not blame them for taking up his banner, but the name Pathfinder, they place such trust in him. Perhaps too much. And then I have this written, is this person the Godslayer? And Tyler.
Probably.
So.
Interesting. Yeah, I read all those, and I got the idea that like people were fighting to free the Pathfinder, but I mean, most of the lore in this game went straight over my head. So I'm glad you guys are here to comprehend it.
We are the lore experts.
Tyler is the lore master. He said he was.
I really like the lore of this game. I think it's really cool and subtle, and they don't beat you over the head with it, right? So it's like you can get it if you want it. It's there, and if not, then go about your day.
Play the game. Yeah, you play the game for an hour. Yeah.
But I think that's why I'm getting so much out of it, because I think the story is enjoyable. And I do want to get more of that lore and find out about the Pathfinder's ascension and what has happened, and what, if he does end up turning into the Godslayer, what that transition was. Because it's like juxtaposed to the other lore, which is just about the Tall Ones in general. And since we're bringing it up now, there's this really cool little bit. I don't know if you guys found like the giant golden tree that's in this area.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's like it's really like 2 white trees with like golden leaves, but you go to it and you get like a little lore soul, and it said that the leaves were planted by Cernus to slowly purify the land from the Godslayer, and like a last ditch effort before it was taken over.
Cool.
And I just thought that was like a really cool little thing because there's another like little monolith that you can find that talks about Ceranos and how he basically gave the land all the trees and the fruits and vegetables and stuff, and it like he did it by shaking his antlers, and that's what spread the seeds around the world.
Yeah, it's very like Greek or Norse god kind of stuff where like
Yeah,
this particular god created all of this element of the world.
yeah. But it was just cool to see that and then see, oh, here are these giant golden trees that this god tried to plant to purify the land before because he knew his time was up, you know.
Sure.
You know.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, like reading all when I went back and watched my videos to get all my notes together, like it made me want to find more out for the lore. It just seems it's a lot more skewed to try and find it than I would like it to be.
Yep.
But I mean, at least it is there. So, like you said, you can find it if you want to know more on what's happening, or we can just listen to Tyler tell us.
And I think it's one of the big reasons why I've been, playing it. You know, I got more hours in it is because I like it. I like that lore. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I like it if it would be more of a presentable fashion. I think I'd be getting into it more. Like I want to know. Like even just reading these little parts just about the Pathfinder. Like I want to know, and you telling me that there's other factions basically there. Like I want to know what happens, but I don't know if it's going to push me to seek it out in the game when I can just wait for you to tell me next time.
I almost always have a problem when games. I'm perfectly fine with. I guess FromSoft games do this, and I don't have a problem with it. But when Destiny did the Grimoire cards at first, I hated it. I was like, I need this story brought to us, and not necessarily in cutscenes, but it needs to be more easily presented to the players. I'm not a big fan of Far Cry 5 because a lot of that story is told through environmental means, and if you're not sitting there getting all those newspapers, you don't necessarily get the full context for that story. Which my friend kind of rushed me through that. By the time I got to the end of Far Cry 5, I was like, I hate this game because I didn't have context for half of this game because I didn't stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
So anytime a game, and it's not even that they're obscuring the story, but without giving us a lot of these tidbits intentionally, letting us find them on our own, and a lot of them are strewn in areas you're going to go to anyway. You're going to get bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like those bits and pieces add up to enough to really hold my interest long term.
Yeah, and I think what they were hoping to do is like they give you these little pieces so that you'd want to search out the other areas.
But that's it works well, right? Is because they give you those pieces if you're interested.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, it's there. But if not, the main story is just like, okay, we got to take this asshole down. You know?
Yeah.
Very straightforward video game kind of a thing. That's why I think it works a little bit better because I also hate like Destiny when they did the Grimoire cards and stuff, and that was like one of my big issues with like Bloodborne per se is, you know,
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just walking around without a purpose.
Yeah, I think From Software is a great comparison point there because From Software's stories are amazing, but it is not told within the game. Really, it's
you have to
all the information
everything.
Is there, but you have to not only read all this stuff of what happened, you need to then put it all into context and make a spreadsheet and be Vati Vidya, who makes just a YouTube channel that's all that shit. Also, I want to say nobody liked the story in Far Cry 5, if that makes you feel any better, Ryan.
No, my buddy enjoyed the story in Far Cry 5.
That's not
He
true.
thought you got to the end of the game and thought it was great.
It's not true.
I like the fishing. I
put
fishing.
like 40 hours into Far Cry 5, never finished it because I did not care about that story.
Yeah, I didn't care either. I enjoyed flying around in co-op mode, and I enjoyed fishing.
I worse than not cared because at the end of that, like I was genuinely angry at the game and the ending it gave me, and I felt like I wasted every single minute I spent playing that game.
I like when you meet the girl that makes you trip out. That was kind of fun. Up on that statue or whatever.
Yeah, it's his sister. His sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
But going back to the lore and stuff, and I think the reason I am interested in it is because like when it comes to gods and stuff like that, that's like something that I'm really interested in. Like I love Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology. I think it's a great book. American Gods, a great book. A lot of literature that I've always read, even as a kid, always revolved around gods. So I think a new take on different gods and a new kind of religion and stuff like that is always interesting to me.
So with the Ceranos, the deer one, have you guys seen Princess Mononoke?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Heavy
So
vibes.
did you just like think that like
Yep.
just at the end when it even turns into that jelly thing, I'm like, this is like it's like the same color. It's like all I can think about is Princess Mononoke. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I know Ryan hasn't because he doesn't watch movies.
The movie's kind of gross.
That's
There's like
correct.
some really gross parts in that movie.
Yeah, there are, but it's good. I like
Like
I
the
really
demon
enjoyed it.
boar, that thing is gross.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I thought of when I got to Cyrnos. Before we get into the boss fight, does anybody have anything else to say about this area?
Ooh, let me
Yeah.
check my notes.
Let's talk about the storm chasing you mechanic real quick, because I think it's like interesting. It brings like because there's no combat really in the game other than I guess the boss fights, which are barely combat. So it's like a way of restricting areas from you, but mostly it just annoyed me. Like, because the thing is when the storm grabs you, it's just like you do a really obnoxious stealth section, and then it goes away, and you get to go back to what you were doing. Did you guys like find that engaging or interesting? Did you like
Well,
it?
the first time I saw those, I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to go to these, and then like it blows your eagle away because it's just a little area. Like, so
Yeah.
I was just running to it. I'm like, okay, it's red, so I probably have to do something there.
Mhm.
So I ran to it. So what happens when you enter it is it pushes your eagle away, and then you have to get back to the eagle. And by staying out of the sight lines and the stealth, I would have liked it more, or I would like it more if you could maybe run when it's not looking at you. I mean, I get why you're not. I really like the whole vibe that it gives you and the big red eye as he's like searching for you. But yeah, once you get to it, you know, your eagle dispels it, and then you have to pet it to get it back to normal. So the first time that I was doing this, though, I thought I was supposed to go to those. So I literally went to those things like 5 times, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I
Same.
literally was just back here, and I'm like, okay, this must not be what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like, oh.
I totally
Okay.
forgot about the tower mechanic because it had been several days between play sessions.
So yeah, I mean, I thought I was just cleansing this area. Like, that's what I thought I was doing. I completely was like, oh no. Okay, I'm like,
Kept
after
running
that, I
into
was
the
like,
storm.
all right, I got to do something else. Like, I'm going to go to these towers now that are glowing red. Another thing that I forgot to mention is you can find these other deer along the way that are just like laying in the grass, and you can, I think you pet them and then get rid of theirs. Like, you don't actually do the mechanic, but you can pet them and then like the curse will go away and they'll get up and run.
Oh,
Which I thought
I
was
never
pretty
found
cool.
those.
I
Oh,
didn't find any.
I found maybe 3.
I think the red storm sucks dick.
So annoying.
Yeah, it's the worst thing in the game. And the reason is like one because you can't really move at all, and it super sucks. And especially the second area, the line of sight for the second
so
boss
big. Yeah.
is bullshit. And he caught me twice, like back to back, for no reason at all. I don't know how. Just was like not there, and then I go to move, and then next thing I know, he's right on top of me. And then we didn't bring it up, but like as you do like little puzzles, you can get experience to get another
flap.
wing flap for your eagle, so you can get up higher. And I don't know if you guys got caught, but if you get caught, you lose experience, and it
Really?
like explodes out of you, and you have to go and collect it again. But it like is on a timer, and so if you lose that experience and
Yeah.
you don't get it all back, you lose that. Like it's just fucking gone.
Yeah. And there's
That super
time delay
sucks.
for you standing up, so you're guaranteed to lose some of it. Like there is no, like you absolutely will lose some of that XP, because the first time I got into the storm, I didn't have any XP on me, and when I died or they caught me, I was like, oh, and I realized, I guess this was after the connection of realizing that I don't have to do this storm. Every time I got caught by the storm, I was like, I'm not even going to try to get the owl. Just get me out of here quicker. Let me get seen. And then I lost the XP that one time. I'm like,
Wait,
well,
you had an owl?
or owl, eagle. I'm thinking of a D&D character. I'm sorry, everybody.
The XP thing too. Like the first time I got caught, I was kind of on like a hill, and as I got caught, the XP kind of fell down the hill. So part of it was on top, part was down. It's like I lost like half. I was like, "Fuck, this is fucking dumb." You
I wonder
know?
if that only happened because I was caught once, but I didn't lose anything. So I wonder if you like just go up a level and you have like nothing at the bottom of your bar, if you don't lose anything then, because I was caught once in the second area by that fucking giraffe, and I don't remember any of that happening.
Yeah, you have to have some XP in the bar to lose some.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
I
I-
must have just like gone up, and then when I got
How
caught, I
many
just-
how many wing flaps are you guys at now with your eagle?
I got
Three.
5.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have 5.
Yeah, I never got caught, so I didn't know that. That I mean, I already hated the storm, but that super sucks even more.
Oh, dude, I was like, I remember my wife was sitting next to me on the couch, and I got caught, and I just lost all the XP, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the one like good thing I will say about the storm is one of the most fun moments I had was when the storm was like almost on top of me, and I managed to outrun it, which is super hard. You have to have it straight away, and you have to hit all of the talismans, but it's a really cool feeling.
I mean, aesthetically, it's super fucking cool looking, but like the gameplay aspect of it just is the worst piece of garbage.
It looks even cooler after you hit all those towers and the light
and
pours
you're
in, and it's got like a weird like lightning kind of sparking out too.
Yeah, I love that.
I really enjoy going into this first boss fight here. As you're flying in, you can just see it running, and I'm just like, okay, let's chase this motherfucker. And this one I didn't mind. The next one, I was kind of like, oh, I was kind of hoping they were going to change it up a bit, but literally you're just chasing this thing, trying to catch up to it. And like, this one wasn't bad, but when you get to the next one, and it uses those big freaking like novas, that was bullshit. Like I
love that. I thought it was really cool
back. I'm like, God damn it! And I gotta make all this headway again. And it's like, is this faster to doing this? Is it faster to glide and shoot? Is it faster to just run? And it seemed to be it's faster to just run and then jump right before you shoot your arrow and get that air boost and not use the eagle. I don't know. That's just what I thought made me go faster. It may not have. They may all be the same speed.
I think I was just straight running.
Yeah, it was mostly straight running. It seems like for the most part the eagle is slower, but I don't know that that's true.
I think if you like come off of a run and do a quick like glide with the eagle, you maintain that speed for a minute, and then you start to lose speed especially as like you're descending. So like what I did is I would run for a little bit, glide, go down, shoot the thing to get a speed boost, run a little bit, glide, shoot the thing, get a speed boost, like over and over.
Yeah. See, what I was doing is I'd run, and as I saw it and I got closer, I'd hold my arrow and slide, and then right before I shot, I'd jump in the air, shoot it, and then get the boost in the air where it shoots you forward, and then land and keep running and not use the eagle that way.
But that's kind of cool. It's like we're able to all do it.
Yeah, you're still able to catch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, for this first phase, the chase down, you're just basically dodging parts of the ground that's on fire, and I think after you take out 2 of the marks on whichever side you decide to do, I did both on the same side and then went to the other side. Then he starts like shooting fireballs at you, and that was okay. I didn't mind that too bad because it's still just run up, hit the other 2 marks on the side, and then after you do that, he kind of goes to this arena, and you have like a surrounding arena fight with him where you again have to shoot the marks on his side, but this time like the entire field is engulfed in flames. After you shoot that, then there's another phase where he throws a fireball at you, and the first time I didn't do it, I got hit by it because I didn't realize I had to target the fireball, shoot it, and then turn it into a projectile to shoot back at him. Did you guys figure that one out right away? And you're just like, aha, yeah, I gotta shoot that fireball back.
Kind of.
Okay.
I think it was by accident, really.
Just holding R2 open.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
auto aim.
I just kept doing this. It's like, when the fuck am I gonna be able to target something so I can shoot?
I think you got to hit him like 3 times, and then he goes into his last phase where he jumps back and like starts everything on fire, and it makes like this upwind as he charges at you because you have to jump over the top of him, and then you get to throw your eagle at him. I think to like dispel it. First time he knocked me clear off the platform because I was like, what the fuck? So I didn't understand what was happening. The next time I saw the lines before he started running, I just gotta use the eagle and fly.
I think these boss fights are really cool. It's really weird how different it feels compared to the rest of the game, though.
Yeah,
like it almost feels like you're not even playing the same game at that point. But it's like a really cool cinematic moment.
So at this one, you just after you do that part, and you send your eagle in, you kind of like you get to land on the ground, and you're fucking kamehameha.
Yeah, and it looks so badass, dude.
This was the part where I was like, this is just straight up freaking anime. Like, they've seen some anime over there.
And the music is going the whole time. The music is just fucking so good. So good.
I enjoy it. So you cleanse it, and then bam, big blue deer is there. Cyrnos is in all his glory. And, like, there's this water that comes out when you free them, and they give you this light arrow that you basically just shoot into the sky, and it brings back the light into the area, and then that unlocks the next area. But it also brings everything to light in the current area, so you can run around and do more stuff there, or you can continue on by going to another like updraft, basically gliding onto the next area.
Did you guys fill out his monolith with all the different?
So that's the one that's got all the like the diamonds open. Like I looked at it and tried to use my visor, and was like, oh, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going.
Did anybody do that?
No.
Well, I did. And if you do that, he gives you this ability. Like you level up, so you get another wing flap, and then you get an ability to where your stamina regenerates over time.
Oh, that's cool.
So you don't have to constantly shoot those things. Like you can just be doing like as you're doing puzzles or whatever. You could just be regenerating your stamina.
Yeah, I did. I looked up what those boons were because I wasn't sure if any of us were going to do it, and I wanted to have that information. And I was like, God, that's really fucking tempting because there's a lot of puzzles where I run out of stamina and they don't put the talismans like in the middle of the area.
It's definitely helped me out a handful of times where I'm just like, God, this fucking sucks. But the second one that you get is cooler in my opinion.
Okay. Well, then we're on to the Redwood Steppe, where as you enter, the God Slayer appears and speaks, "Come forth, sorrow, burn my enemies," and this giant fucking giraffe thing appears.
And then he hits you with this stupid light face, and then you lose a bunch of XP for no fucking reason.
We'll play for that later. So what I did write is I do enjoy that. So in this first area, there was only like a variety of maybe 3 puzzles. So in this one, they add, I think we talked about the mirrors already. Mm-hmm. So they add those in. I enjoy doing the ricochet shots. I thought those were fun. I'm pretty sure I got a trophy for doing ricochet on one of them. Then you get the pieces that you have to move with your eagle that we talked about earlier. Some are just a little bit and they don't move. And then there's the one that we talked about where you bring it to the end and it just goes and you got to shoot through all the targets and hit them all. There's another one with groupings of like these light butterflies that you can run through, and then they become like a timer, like they're around you and they slowly start to disappear. And it's like go from this point to the next point. There's another set where it's like a lighted button on the ground and you have to stand on it, then make it to the other one without touching the ground. So some of those you can do just by shooting those talismans and popping. Other ones, like as you get closer to the end, you got to grab your eagle to soar. So I like that they added more, and I think there's another set. I think the last set is the one where you can use your mask and see, like, in one of these temple areas, you can see, like, different symbols, and then you have to go up to another place and shoot, so they're all the according symbol of, to, like, where they are. And that's, like, I think those are mostly, like, the XP buffs in those areas, and or to unlock, like, treasure chests, which then give you the XP buff as well.
Yeah.
You guys, anything notable in this area for you?
Did you guys immediately? Well, I mean, I guess I just talked to you guys about it in Discord, but did you immediately come here? Because I actually went like a different way up the waterfall, because you can do that if you have at least 3 jumps. And went to the third area.
I went right here, but I was worried that I was not going to go to the right place because you said that.
Yeah, they make it very obvious which way you should go. But
yeah, if you look at it, it's like a weird tiered step thing anyways, right? 'Cause it's like you're at the bottom and you look to the left a little bit, and and Soros was there.
Going back to it, like at the beginning, I think by the Eagle, you actually came upon like a big like 3D map of the island as well.
I did go up to the area for the next boss after this, just to get a bigger lay of the land because it's sitting up higher. But I mean, I just jumped right back down immediately after that. But I also forgot, we were talking about Ceranos earlier, and once you fill out his little shrine thing, I forgot to mention this, that he takes you to where he gives you the ability to regenerate your shit. He takes you to like where his body was originally.
Oh.
So like where his original body died at, and you get to see his giant fucking skeleton, and these things are huge.
Oh, that's him. I remember finding a skeleton, like just running around. I mean, I don't know if it's
no, it doesn't appear until you do it.
Okay, so the other skeleton I found, they are giant freaking dinosaur head.
Yeah, that's just some random thing. This is like a gigantic skeleton of a deer. It's crazy.
Cool. I forgot there's the Simon, basically follow the pattern bells that you can do too with your mask.
Yep.
Where it's like ding, 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 ding. And you just got
the beep boop game.
Order. Yeah, the Simon is what old people call it. Yeah. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? I really don't have anything noticeable in this area aside from the boss fight.
There's an area after the boss fight that I explored that was cool, but we can talk about that now if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, if it's just in this area anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so there is a section like way the fuck up on a mountain that you can climb up to get one of the towels or like the little shrine ticket things or whatever to like put into his monolith once you beat him. And once you climb up there, it's basically like this giant monastery that's up on this cliff, and you get a trophy for getting up there. But what's cool is like this is how I learned about the 3 different factions, like, and more about what's going on in the world, because all of these monks are killed by the Pathfinder and his men, and the people who are trying to stop them, because the Pathfinder was like trying to lay siege to this monastery that these monks are at. That they're the ones who are like basically keeping the tall ones, you know, alive, like with their prayers and all that shit. So you get like more of the world building from that area, and it was really cool because like you have to do this giant climb up this mountain, and like it ends with like one of those wind tunnels going up, and you use your eagle to fly up there, and then there's like probably 8 or 9 of those like little soul things that you get all this different information from. It was cool. It's a really cool moment.
Cool.
Right on.
The only like big note I had for this area is it's kind of weird that the towers cost 2 light stones now, and they don't really signpost that at all. It's just you go up there and you're like, well, fuck, I only have 1. I guess I'll go back. And
Yeah. The first one I went to, I'm like, oh, there's 2 slots. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then I figured all of them would, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Also, I really like the design of Soros. I think he looks cool.
Yeah.
In the cursed form.
Yeah, both forms. Both forms are cool. Curse form, he's like a giant fiery giraffe. It's fucking weird looking.
With 1 eye.
Yeah, 1 giant eyeball.
Ryan, you got anything for this area?
More of the same. My feelings on this game, for me, it's aggressively mediocre. Like,
fair enough. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I think I really like the moments the game gets cinematic. I like those a lot, and the boss fights are cool, but I could take them or leave them.
Okay. So speaking of the boss fight, as you come up to Saros here, you're chasing him, and he's already shooting fireballs at you. Again, you're just chasing him down, trying to get to either side, take out 2 of those marks, and then that's where he starts doing those freaking like supernova explosions, which I didn't like at all.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good mechanic for this to be happening. It's just I didn't like them because they're hitting me.
They were not nice to me.
Yeah, I just like the way it looked. I thought it was cool.
Oh yeah,
looking, but
the first couple I was fine because I was actually in the air, like flying with my eagle, and I didn't even notice until I got them down to the last one, and then all of a sudden they were just freaking like everywhere, and I was like, God damn it! Like I couldn't get up to hover again fast enough. But anyway, as if after you take down all of his sides, again you're transported to this arena type. Or he's spitting fireballs at you and you're kind of just running around. A little different than the first one, as you take these out, his third phase is the Godslayer comes in or like the Godslayer monuments, there's 3 of them, and they kind of give him this power, and he just starts like bellowing fire out at you, and you actually jump down into this trench, and you got a void. It's kind of like a stealth mechanic and hide behind pillars as he's like breathing fire at you, make it to this area, then get to the next area, then to the next one, and you're just going up trying to dispel the Godslayer monuments to take away his power, so then that you can get right back to him. The first 2 sections I didn't have much of a problem with. There's one cool part in the second section where you can send your eagle out to grab the wall and then bring it back, and then you just walk along with it as you block it. I like that, but the third part sucked balls.
You know, it's funny. The second area, I was in that location earlier when I was playing, like exploring the world, and I'd already moved that block, so it was just still sitting where I moved it, like ready to go. So I just like immediately just ran right underneath it. I was like, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, the third part I didn't like because it seemed like the timing was really weird. Like I would run after, and I didn't have a problem until I'd always get to that last one.
You know,
and then he hit
that's
me
how it
like,
worked for me in the
back,
first
like,
one. The first section, getting out of the basement area,
we have to jump up on the left, and it's not like clearly noticeable.
It was not at all telegraphed,
Yeah.
but with like a pole there, so I just kept running, and like the fire just like only pushes you back, because you can't die. So it just like pushed me back, but I was like wedged against the wall, so I didn't really move anywhere. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep on going.
Yeah,
I know this last part sucked.
I wish they would have like telegraphed it more. It just didn't make any sense.
Well, once I saw the shadow from the pillar, I'm like, okay.
Could not notice that it was a shadow. It did not look like a shadow.
Yeah. Well, the third part, I was fine until you get to the very end, and then I kept getting hit back, and then I get pissed off and like try and jump to the other side quick and get shot back even farther. I'm like, God damn it. But you make it back.
I don't have a problem with that third part. You're just bad at games, Tom. I'm sorry.
I mean, it could
You
be.
have to find out this way.
Yeah. What am I going to do with my life now? I can always be a stripper.
Yeah, that's plan B.
Do strippers do podcasts?
They do now.
For Donald Trump, they do.
Play the music.
So you get to the end and dispel the fiery draft. I think after you use the monuments, you just jump out and you just whip your eagle at him, right? There's not another scenario.
No, there is.
Is there?
Yeah, he's got like fire all over the place, and he does
that's
like
right. You're
crazy,
floating. You gotta float around them.
Yeah, fiery tornadoes. You gotta like kind of move away from him and then go back in
and hit all four sides again, right?
Yeah, and then hit all four sides while he's doing that, and then you throw your eagle at his forehead.
Yeah,
and
that part was
turn him into a giant lizard. At least the first one kind of looked like a deer. This one didn't. I know, but like,
he's a Komodo dragon. What are you talking about?
Lost a lot of neck.
But the difference between like at least the first one kind of looked like it had the antlers. It was kind of deer-like. It had extra legs and was a little closer to the ground. But this one was just like, I knew you could tell from the image or from on the like totem that it was supposed to be a lizard. But then I'm fighting a fucking giraffe and I'm like, how's this gonna work? And then it just turned into the Komodo dragon. And I was like, oh
yeah.
The only reason I could get behind that is like it was supposed to be more of like a dragon. Not a giraffe, you know what I mean? That's why it was breathing fire at you.
Sure.
But it didn't have any wings.
The deer also breathed fire, though.
It looked like a fucking giraffe. I mean,
yeah.
Also, if you like in the next area that I was in briefly, there's a thing that looks much more like a dragon, like a legit dragon.
Anyway, I like what you get from defeating this. You get the power icons or whatever, so you could shoot these like the fiery ones, and they just like boost you, like shoot super far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I ran around for a little bit after beating it, just doing that because it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah, the powerful talismans.
Yeah, and that's as far as we go with this podcast.
Yeah, that's the first half of Pathless.
That is the first half.
Also, if you do the monolith for Soro and fill it out with all the things, he gives you a speed boost. So you run way faster when you shoot the talismans.
Kind of make me want to get those boons, Panda. Like, those sound handy and useful.
Hey, man. It's fun, It's.
I enjoy the game. I'm
having a good time.
But like you said earlier, like as you were sitting here, it's not like, man, I got to get back in that Pathless and.
No, I haven't. Like right now, I just want to go play some more Jedi Fallen Order. But
is that another way to say Fortnite?
Say what?
So is that another way to say Fortnite?
No, not right now. Maybe tomorrow. Oh shit, we're doing something tomorrow too. But it's like I forgot to even play this game. Like I played it the day that we said that we were going to start it, and I didn't touch it again until Monday. Mm-hmm. And then I had to run through the first boss, I think, and then the second one yesterday. So it's like I've been playing it the last 2 days. Yeah. And,
but it's a nice light game. Like it's not heavy.
And it's nice. It's nice to come home from work and it's just like, okay, I can play this for an hour and a half or so, and then that's.
I tried to play it after work, but I fell asleep.
It's really enthralling.
It's so relaxing.
It is relaxing, yeah.
Maybe for me it's just hitting at a bad moment then, because I am in the mood for like big sink your teeth in games.
Well, you also have Cyberpunk waiting for you to play like right now.
But that wasn't the Valhalla.
Valhalla, like all these huge games.
Demon Souls, and that's all I had until Cyberpunk. So this was like okay for me to just jump into. And it's like a nice palate cleanse before going like head first into something really
Yeah,
big.
because I'm on the ass end of like a lot of games right now, so it's like just might as well add this to the pile and mop them all up all at once.
Is that the end you like to be on? The ass end?
And I hope I don't come across like I'm. Excuse me. I hope I'm not like. I don't want to shit on this game too hard.
You're playing it on an iPhone as well, so I'm not like terribly pissed that you're like.
But I'm having an okay time.
You don't have to like the game. If you don't like the game, you don't like the game.
But I mean, playing anything on mobile, I think for me, if it was a game that was out on the console and on mobile, and I decided to play it on mobile, I'd probably be like, I would only be able to play it at like 20 minutes at a time, and I'd probably be like, there's nothing holding me back to play it.
45 minutes in one go.
You made it longer than I probably
played for 2.5 hours yesterday.
Okay, so now get it on your phone and do the comparison.
No, I'd be probably. Oh, I actually thought about doing that, but nah. That sounds like duty. I don't want to do that.
The big old pile of poo poo.
Yep.
I don't want to do that.
Ah, it's poop again.
Don't put it out with your boot, Dad.
Oh, he called the shit poop.
And that's how Billy Madison ties into the Pathless.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that up, man. I didn't know if anybody else was going to pick that thread up.
Ryan doesn't watch movies, so
I'm lost.
You know I haven't seen a movie.
And that's what we got for the Pathless. What is it? We record the 23rd?
Are we going to do predictions of what's coming next?
Oh yeah, this is our first two-parter in a while.
Oh yeah, it's true.
You
more of the same.
Run and you shoot some tokens. And let's see. I'm gonna go with. There's got to be some sort of a cat thing coming in. Like we need like a tiger or lion or some weird thing like that. Some sort of a beast
and a dragon.
Yeah, right? Dragon with a lot of heads is my guess.
Oh, like a hydra.
Yeah, like a hydra. Yeah.
Yes.
What was the other thing? It looked like a weird cat. I bet that is like a tiger. Then
it's a cat.
Yeah. I'm trying to go from like the when you have to spin those like little
that's what it looked like a weird like demon cat thing.
Yeah. So it's probably like some sort of a tiger.
And then the Godslayer is probably the Pathfinder, and the Pathfinder is probably your dad, and your dad is Darth Vader.
And then it turns into Star Wars. Holy shit! Star Wars.
And then you find out that you're Anakin, played by Hayden Christensen, and you're like, man, this sucks.
Yep.
And then you go on to make Jumper,
which is an okay movie.
An okay movie.
That's what I just said. Okay.
And then a movie with Nicolas Cage, so you already know that's probably not good.
What movie was that?
They're like some sort of like Crusaders or something.
Oh, that sounds great.
Nicolas Cage is a national treasure.
And he was in National Treasure.
Yeah. Maybe he was in good movie. I like Nicolas Cage movies circa like before 2005.
Did you ever see The Knowing?
No.
That movie's fucked up. Watch that movie.
You got Nicolas Cage, you got Con Air, you got The Rock, you got Raising Arizona. Those are good Nicolas Cage.
Okay, you need to watch Next, The Knowing. I think he's in The Knowing. What is it?
Nicolas Cage is the star of the Pathless.
Bangkok Dangerous.
No. Oh my God. Have you seen the actual Bangkok Dangerous? That is so much better than the Nicolas Cage one.
Nicolas Cage movies. You give me a second.
Christian's trying to get us back on topic.
I don't know where we're
going. Failing miserably.
I did not even drink today.
Anyways, Nicolas Cage is going to be presenting at the Game Awards, which we're streaming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, by the time you listen to this,
it's not tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Fuck. I forgot it's delayed.
So everyone have the Pathless beaten by December 23rd.
Yep.
Roll credits, which will be about 2 hours probably.
And then send us stuff. Put stuff in our Discord. All the links will be in the normal places. Follow us on Twitter. Tyler works his butt off.
I don't.
Out fun stuff.
I just tweet stuff.
It seems like it because he tweets a lot.
That's because I'm supposed to.
There, see that you're working your butt off.
You
got to earn that.
I'm actually at work
fourth
working.
Spot.
I earned those Twitter followers.
That's right. Those 15 Twitter followers we got.
Well, now that we're a stripper podcast, we'll probably bring in some more. So
we're a holiday podcast now, baby. Less talking, more noggin. That's what I say.
No, I don't have holiday on. I got
Chris
on
gets
fire.
it.
This
Chris
is
understands.
fine kind of deal.
I
got another holiday sweater for next episode.
I have a holiday sweater for
yeah.
next episode. Just to let everybody know, Kyle Hilliard wrote in for the next episode. So if you write in, it's almost kind of like you're talking to Kyle Hilliard.
Yeah, and if Kyle can write in, you can write in, you bunch of nerds. Just do it.
Damn.
So yes, all of the links to how you can talk to us will be in the description of this podcast, probably the YouTube video version as well. You have now until December 23rd to beat it. Send us all your information, why
Your social
you
security.
hate it or like it. Yeah, you can send us your social security and like date of birth, your mother's maiden name. You can do that too if you want. But otherwise, this game is pretty fun. It's beautiful. Visually stunning is what it is.
100%.
Even if that's the least that you take away from this game.
Yep. Great art direction.
And soundtrack. Soundtrack's great.
Soundtrack is good too.
Probably
unless you turn it off and listen to your own music, in which case the soundtrack is great.
Either way,
the
it's
actual
great.
score as well. Yeah, either way, the score is good. But thanks everybody for watching and listening. We will be, like Tyler said, obviously this will be after the fact, but I'm sure we will VOD it. But we will be doing reactions for the Video Game Awards. So you can find that on YouTube and our Twitch VOD for a little bit, I assume. And we will be announcing our next game next time.
Well, we'll be doing top games before we announce the next game.
Doing end of the game of the year, right?
Top 10 goaties.
I don't like goats. I don't know why.
Goats rock, Tom. Don't you disparage goats.
Creepy eyes that have like little
He's just
rectangles
tired
in
because
them.
his kids keep playing Goat Simulator.
That's just Harrison. But thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.